I am walking through North Berkeley on this rainy day. I am walking a strip here on Shattuck Avenue called the Gourmet Ghetto to visit the first ever Peet's Coffee that opened back in 1966. Some of you may know that I like to create my own espresso-based elixirs. However, when I'm in a pinch, I typically go to a cafe to pick up a cup. And if there isn't a mom and pop cafe nearby, out of the corporate-based cafes, I prefer Peet's Coffee over Starbucks. Peet's has a bean that I really like called Major Dickinson. It's dark, bold, and strong in flavor, and that's how I like my coffee. And when I say stronger, not necessarily more caffeine, just more robust and bold in flavor, just how it hits my palate. So Peet's Coffee was started by Alfred Peet. He was born in the Netherlands back in 1920. He was surrounded by coffee because his family were roasters. When Alfred arrived to the US after World War II, he was shocked by the flavor of American coffee. He famously called it dishwater. To him, American coffee was weak, and it lacked intention, it lacked boldness, it lacked the robustness. So in 1966, he opened a coffee shop here so that he can create coffee his way, which was more bold, robust, the same way that I like coffee. He didn't have many business goals when opening the shop. He just wanted to make coffee the right way. He had no franchising intentions or intentions of becoming a huge conglomerate in the coffee industry. As a matter of fact, the founders of Starbucks learned from Alfred Peet back in the day. The founders of Starbucks also bought beans from Alfred. And now look where Starbucks is today, thanks to Alfred Peet. So in essence, Alfred Peet reset the baseline for American coffee, one may argue. But no matter how it happened, I am down with my stronger, bold espresso-based elixirs and my Major Dickinson drip coffee. I've never been to this Peet's location before, but it resides here somewhere. It seems like a little quaint location. Gives me a Napa vibe or a Monterey vibe. And here we are, the very first Peet's Coffee on Walnut and Vine. It's a bit of a low-key location. You don't really see a huge Peet sign up above. It looks unmarked, actually, unless you give it a closer look. Yep, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, that's cool. In the back area, there's like a mini museum. Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. I would like to read that article. Alfred H. Peet, 87 dies, leader of a coffee revolution. Ooh, the original tip box in the late 1980s. Tools of the trade. The grinders from back in the day. And then the glass is casting a reflection. Apologies for that. Imagine making espresso-based elixirs with these gadgets. Vintage coffee cans. Tea from back in the day. Coffee packaging from the 60s to the 80s. And here are the more modern packaging. Ooh, $1.35 latte. And there's Alfred, back in 1983. Interesting stuff. Some framed art. Let's see, this poster was created by noted Berkeley poster artist David Lance Goines in 1976. I still use my Chemex from time to time. All the manual drip brewers. Some cool vintage contraptions. Alfred Peet, 1920 to 2007. Here's the main section of the very first Peet's Coffee. And right outside the entrance, Berkeley history, Peet's Coffee and Tea. And there's a little write-up on Alfred H. Peet. Mr. Peet was dismayed by the poor quality of coffee in his adopted country. But there it is, the first Peet's Coffee in Berkeley, California, that opened on April 1st, 1966. It's a discreet location without a huge sign indicating that it's a Peet's coffee, but it is what it is. And I picked up an espresso-based elixir as well. We've been around 6 weeks into this whole vlogging thing, and so far so good. I've seen a handful of repeat viewers. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming back to check things out over here. You know, I've always photographed my life. I have like diary entries as well, just documenting things. And so now I'm doing something a bit different, sharing visual entries and making it public for whoever wants to watch this stuff. Why not? Try something different, try something new. So yeah, that's the gist of things. And that said, thank you for tuning in and checking things out. I appreciate you hardcore. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments, thank you for the subs, cheers, and who knows, I'll do another one of these. Have a good one, enjoy the rest of your week, all.